The Catholic thing can be many things. Like, it doesn't just have to be worship music. It can just be music that elevates, moves a person, and talks about real things. My name is Zambon. I'm Canadian, living in the States. Have a few gifts of music.
A little while you feel so long, till I can be with you once more.
It's also been a beautiful opportunity to meet different peoples, different cultures. My music is from the wounded, for the wounded. It was never just a thing of music. It was about a relationship.
All of my heart, and all of my soul.
Yeah, it's just like, it's another layer of encountering Christ. It's encountering him in your head, in your mind. I'm just sowing the seeds. Like, if it resonates with some people, praise the Lord.
'Cause the world you wanted gave you nothing what you need. And I would trade it all if I could just find peace.
When I was born, I had these 3 fingers webbed together in these 2, which is a biological kind of thing. You know, it was a thing that I really struggled with. And so, you know, I had surgery when I was about, I think, 3 or 4 years old. And my mom always tells the story that, you know, the doctor asked me, you know, why do you want your fingers separated? And the answer I gave was to play piano. So again, very early on, like I saw music in the home. We had a piano in our home, and I wanted to play piano, and somehow I connected that I needed this mobility to play properly. So allow my fingers to heal from surgery, and then, you know, eventually get the full mobility. I do think music was kind of in my heart right from the very beginning, and I can honestly say, like, early on, I just was drawn to music. I remember some of my uncles would play piano, and my parents like sang in the choir, and so my early memories too of music, it was always just something that, like, I don't know, made my heart soar, and I was kind of interested in it.
Tell your mother that I'm in love, the daughter she's been raising up. Say, oh my love.
The Lord gave me this gift, in many ways, to save me. I think it kept me out of a lot of trouble. I've even found that, like, songwriting has ministered to myself. Like, I'll write a song, I'll record it, and then I'm listening to it, and it's almost like somebody's ministering to me. And I kind of forget, like, I wrote that song. But again, I think the Lord kind of gave me then even a gift for my own sanctification, like, to help me along the path and understanding and deepening my friendship with him, my love of him, and just even a journey of healing.
Bone of bone and flesh of flesh, been waiting along, and now at last to say, oh my love. Well, there's joy within the house of God when son and daughter choose to love. Say, oh my love.
It was never just a thing of music. It was about a relationship. How, at least, like, I found that, like, you know, the Lord helped me kind of communicate that to others is through the medium of music. Be in a posture of, like, surrender and, like, just receptivity. So whatever the Lord wants to place in your hands, receive, and then just be open to the journey.
Say, oh, love has won. Yeah, say, oh, love has won.
I check 1, 2, check.
Yeah.
Check.
I think I have to give a lot of credit to my parents. I just saw a faith that was in word and deed. And that, for me, has always then, I've always come back to that has really helped to build my own foundation. Believe the things of the church, but then like you're actually going to understand them and know them by doing it. It's just like it's another layer of encountering Christ. It's encountering him in your head, in your mind, but also in your heart.
Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you more and more. With all of my heart and all of my soul and all of my mind and all of my strength. With all of my heart and all of my soul and all of my mind and all of my strength. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you. Jesus, I love you more and more.
The Catholic thing can be many things. Like it doesn't just have to be worship music. And so it can just be music that elevates and like moves a person and talks about real things. And when I started learning music, yeah, I was learning pop songs and just like other folk and, you know, fingerstyle and all these like cool like musicians that I loved in the more secular world. But then like I also was playing like Christian worship songs that I felt for myself too, or like, this is fun, it's not boring, it's like, it's awesome. And just as heartfelt and meaningful. And I've often, even in my songwriting then too, I would look at like secular artists and say, look, if they can be this vulnerable and raw and real, that's why some people love like, you know, some of the real melancholic, moody music. Because they're like, this guy's actually talking about real things. Why can't we also talk about real things and go to those places? But then as a Christian, this is like, we need Christians, Catholics, to be pondering the real guts, the real aches of the world. As a Christian, you bring, you know, a different perspective. Yeah, like the presence of God in the midst of these things. And I'm a Catholic man writing music, and so all my music is Catholic. For me, most of the times, I'm writing in the valleys of my life. It's when I'm down there, I'm in the pits, and I'm just like, yeah, Lord, where are you? And if I give space to the Lord to speak, usually in time, a friend comes in, speaks a word, or just through prayer or something.
'Cause I woke up in the city, and I woke up, my mouth dry. 'Cause I woke up to my living. Good Lord, I've been dead this whole time.
When I started sharing the music with other people, and I started meeting people, hearing their stories, it was like the stories of other people then that were starting to also like inspire me to write. It was interesting, like as I would share a story of like my own forgiveness, I would meet somebody who's like, yeah, this helped me like forgive my dad or like my husband who left me and these sort of things. And then something I would do is like really try to put myself in their shoes. So whatever like they told me about their story, like I wanted to feel that. Like I wanted to know what it's like to be left by someone after married for 40 years with kids, you know, or to be an abuse survivor.
I don't want money. Roll
in a certain sense, me like reflecting and really ruminating on like the experiences of other people's, it's like I would say like, if I was in your shoes and I felt like the Lord was speaking to me as you, this is the movement he took me on. I want to have like the heart of Jesus, who is willing to sit with and dine with and be with others who have different experiences than him.
'Cause I see it as nothing now to me. 'Cause the world you wanted gave you nothing what you need. And I would trade it all if I could just find peace.
I mean, I have a huge heart for healing because it's a lot of my story. Like, I do feel like there's a call, like the world needs and the church needs like messengers of healing, of reconciliation. Like, come back. He loves you. A call to like have people in some ways reflect upon their wounds in their life. That's like, maybe the Lord wants to shine his light most brilliant through this area, that would, in the long run, bring the most glory to him and save the most people, turn the most hearts back to him. But it requires you to actually do the heart work and allow the Lord to go into those places, to really, heal those inward parts of you. The Lord has called me out of a place, and he is like sending me out to my own like communities and just people to be kind of a witness of God's healing. I know for myself, like, I'm trying to be authentic as I can in the words that I use. This is an honest like expression of my faith. That's what I'm judging it upon. Like, I'm judging the work that I do upon that. Like, was I honest? Was I good? Was I trying to like lead with this beauty?
More than spring cherry blossoms, more than all the sweet cut grass, and more than all of my mama's baking, yes, you surpass. Say, ooh, you're my sweet aroma, boy, coming off through the breeze. Say, ooh, you're my sweet aroma, you're the nectar, I'm your bee.
Again, it's just, for me, it's just like the joy of love and just even the playfulness of love, for me, is just captured in that song. But this idea that, love comes sooner than our hearts deserve, but not as soon as we would desire. And so, again, for me, whenever I come across these like beautiful phrases and stuff, especially of the saints, I love putting it in music because it's a way for me to ruminate on it, to reflect on it, and to come back to it time and time again.
You don't know where I'm broken. You don't know where I'm breaking. You don't know, my dear mother. You don't know where I've been hiding.
This song really kind of sums up the emotion of the album. It's a lot to do with asking questions, talking about brokenness. And so behind each sign is an actual why question from a person. I don't even know what that is. And so that it it has that element of the mystery to it. And that's really like the beginning of the song, what it's talking about, like, you don't know where I'm broken, you don't know where I'm breaking. That we often just kind of go through life and we don't really know necessarily where, you know, what people are actually carrying with them in their own heart or from their past or even just dealing with right now.
And these why they had to be. And please help me now to see.
It's okay if you don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers in life. But even though like I might be going through a really difficult time, I know there's purpose to my life and I know there's purpose for me to be here now. That is like relationship with God.
I remember you said, blessed are they, for who this life's not easy. And I could die here, wrapped up in me, as if I was only bleeding. And please help me now to see. Tell me why this had to be. Only you know why this had to be. Only you know why this had to be. Only you know why this had to be. Only you know. I guess this had to be. Me to be with you. Me to be with you.
I think what I'm trying to do is bring people to a place of actually like quiet stillness.
I lost myself in this.
I think the most beautiful thing for me too, like when I hear people say like, the music has helped me pray. I don't assume that like someone's, you know, listening to my music like 24/7. I hope they eventually, you know, maybe it kind of stirred up something and then they turn the music off and then they sit and then they listen. And then now the dialogue continues. That if I could bring a person to that they basically forget about Joe Zambon and his song. And now they're in a personal dialogue with the Lord, wherever that song kind of inspired them to look, to seek, and then suddenly they found it.
See when head hits feet through, and I'm overjoyed.
Just being honest, I have to be like, that's beautiful art. And this is why the alluring thing of beauty is that like, we should be able to affirm like beauty where we see beauty. But the artist, again too, the Catholic artist has the opportunity to then give reference back to, you know, the author of what is good, true, and beautiful. Knowing that that's where we find like, I think our fulfillment, our purpose, and just like the longing of our heart, you know, like beautiful things is not going to satisfy you unless like, you know, you find beauty itself, God. I think to bring just the heart that is wandering and seeking beauty itself, you know, a little bit step closer to like finding God, who is going to like ultimately satisfy every one of our desires, even like just like all of the senses that are all good. Like my hope is just to continue to use music as that medium to storytell, to share the faith, to share like what the Lord has done in my life, and then to use it as an opportunity to gather people together, whether it's for prayer. So I just hope to like continue to use it as a way to like encounter people and meet new people and travel and eat great food and experience cultures. Like what what's not like more Catholic than that, like, and to experience like the full like beauty of the church by visiting communities, hearing their stories and getting to know people. So if music can be something that will continue to facilitate that, like I hope to keep on doing it till I
little while you make me wait. You teach my heart, receive, don't take. 'Cause love is patient, love is true. Love speaks a word and follows through. My heart longs for the distant shores when you won't have to leave no more. Prepare the gown, I'll spread the feast, and wedding bells, our joy complete. You're coming sooner than my heart desires, not soon as I would have desired. In the sorrow, I'll find joy. I won't forget the thing that we're fighting for. 'Cause in the silence, I will trust. I won't forget your word and your promises. Now I leave until love returns. You're forever mine and I am yours. You're coming sooner than my heart deserves, not soon as I would have desired. Come to bring me home with you. Oh, don't be late. Oh, little while. Oh, please return. Oh, little while.
Are you searching for fulfillment? Discover true happiness. Stay tuned to Shalom World.